Sports. I know they all talking about this offense all the time, all these running backs, all these wide receivers. But what about the defensive backs? What about who's sacking the quarterbacks? Right now, Off-Work Sports, I want to get into the top 10 linebackers, DEs, defensive linemen on the team, front line, making things happen. Sometimes it's the defense that makes you win. If anyone's old enough to remember the Baltimore Ravens, back in the early 2000s, it was all defense. And here we go again with the same type of formula. Tampa Bay Bucks. Hey, Jameis Winston is solid. The offense is solid. But it's the defense that's making things happen, and leading the core for the Tampa Bay Bucks is Shaquille Barrett. Shaquille Barrett, over 8 sacks in the last 3 games. He has his next game on Sunday. We shall see what he does from a sack perspective. You gotta love what you see out of Shaquille Barrett. Next up is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett with a G. Barrett with a B, Garrett with a G. I guess it's a G thing. Cleveland Browns doing their thing. Over 6 sacks from Myles Garrett in the Cleveland Browns. Impeccable defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. If they can get their offense going, they'll have something special. On Shaquille Barrett's side, I hate to go back up to Tampa Bay. It's a one-man army, no offense. He has his defensive line team that's pretty good. But really, if the defense goes for Tampa Bay will fall very, very, very badly. On the other half, for Cleveland, they do have an offense. And this defense being so great is just an extra positive. Right now, the defense is playing better than the offense, and Myles Garrett's leading that effort. Green Bay has so many lines of attack, and here we go again, right? Green Bay set up low-key to win a championship, but if you look at the Green Bay Packers and Mr. Aaron Rodgers, Preston Smith has been coming through. Jesus, look at this here, huh? Look at the totals. Okay? Sacks, 4.5 sacks last 4 games. Remember, they played the other night. You gotta love what you see from Preston at the linebacker position. Great games for him. And his counterpart that came from Mr. Green Bay was Clay Matthews, and he's still doing his thing even at his age, playing with Mr. Donaldson. Clay Matthews, the other half of that lethal army. Great games for Clay. Over 4 sacks, 3 games. Next game Sunday, we should see some good plays from him. You can see the 2 combined sacks and tackles for this kid. He is an amazing talent, has been for years. Clay Matthews, thank you for what you've given the NFL. Next up, Whitney Mercilus, Houston. Hey, Houston's not asleep yet, huh? You thought they were trading away people for no reason? They think they traded away Mario for no reason? They still have some cards in the deck. Whitney Mercilus comes through, linebacker, 4 sacks. Over 13 combined sacks and tackles for this man. He is having a tremendous season for Houston. Gotta love what you see out of Whitney. A quicker linebacker, one of the more speedy. Clay Matthews is using his head more. I want to get in a little bit more of the talent. Shaquille Barrett is a combination of power and strength and speed. So is Myles Garrett. Those are the freaks in nature. Clay Matthews was a freak in nature. I think he still is, but Whitney Mercilus is filling in that slot with his brains, right? He has a little bit of speed, but has brains like what I've seen from Whitney. Obviously, he's in the NFL. He's still a tremendous athlete, but compared to Clay Matthews, what Clay Matthews was, he's not, and he's still almost putting up the same numbers. Gotta love what you see out of Whitney. Next up, Mario Addison, Carolina. He thought it was all bad, but it was not. Defense, Mario Addison, 2 sacks, 3.5 sacks in the last 3 games. Not bad. Totals of 5, right? So he can do a little bit more. It looks like he's just a sack getter right now, linebacker position. But he's influencing the ball in more than one ways. Gotta love what you see out of Mario Addison from the Carolina Panthers. Next up, Benson Moyayo. What's up, Oakland Raiders? How are you? Hey, Oakland, falling off a cliff. You lost Mr. Antonio Brown, and things looking bad with Derek Carr, but hey, you still got that defense. Benson's doing his thing. I hate to say it's going to be to no avail for Benson, but you got to like what you see from the Oakland Raiders here. I think their talents will continue. They'll continue to build year after year, and we'll see something from the Oakland Raiders. Next up, Stephon Tuitt, Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, they dying, man. They lost their quarterback for the year, Mr. Roethlisberger, but their defense is holding steady. They've been holding steady for years and years. God love what you see out of Pittsburgh. I respect that. Steelers got Stephon Tuitt doing his thing at the defensive end position. We got again, a DN top guy in sacks. That's what you expect. The linebackers, I'm a little bit more stunned because they have a lot more running to do. When you got a DE doing his thing, gotta love that from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, again, Jacksonville, man, they're sneaky, aren't they, huh? They just sneak in these guys out of nowhere. And next up is Calais Campbell out of Jacksonville Jaguars, a DE with 3 sacks. 13 combined with tackles and sacks. So 3 sacks in total in the last 3 games. Has his 4th game coming up. Sneaky Jacksonville. They're always sneaky with defense, offense. They have a nice little team. They should pay dividends. We should see them do something in the future here. God like we see out of Jacksonville. Next up, Marcus Golden, New York Giants. Can they make a turnaround without Saquon? Can it be Daniel Jones and Mr. Golden doing their thing? We shall see. Golden, 3 sacks. 13 in total, 12 in total percentage with tackles and sacks. Gotta like him from the linebacker position. A speedy, athletic linebacker. Love what I see. Great eye, great position. Holds steady. I don't expect too many sacks from him unless they call plays from him, but he has great containment. Gotta love what you see out of Marcus Golden. Look how they're tied for 9 all the way down. Isn't that sick? You can't even unrank them. They're all tied for 9. Next up, Trey Hendrickson. I'm going to stop there for New Orleans. New Orleans, we got to see what happens here with the quarterback position. Breeze was out, so Breeze had some issues. And they threw in, I forgot the gentleman. He came out from Minnesota, but their new quarterback's in there. His name eludes me. And they want to give him an opportunity. A lot of people were heavy for him. And you got that Sean Payton offense. Got to like what you see out of that. Can this defense come along enough? Troy Hendrickson's leading the pack to possibly bring the New Orleans Saints into another realm. We shall see, but he is in the top ranking for the defensive end linebacker position in the NFL. Over 3 sacks, 8 total with tackles and sacks. Gotta love what you see out of Trey Hendrickson. So I'm out of here for the defenses, giving you the top 10. Off Work Sports signing off. Hey, 100,000 subscribers when we get there. Let's go ahead and I'll send something off to the team. Maybe a couple free jerseys and free tickets to a game. Off Work Sports sign off. Peace.